Hello YouTube community, this is VIP Nobody coming to you from the sunny climes of Jamaica. Once again, fixed income guy and having to spend 3 times as much on tech as people in the United States. You gotta find different ways to be able to do things and be creative. This, as you see, used to be a Windows 95 machine with a K6 or K7 AMD motherboard, which is a 426 in case you didn't know. AMD's version of the 426, if I understand history about it correctly. I could be wrong, always can be. But AMD was hired or contracted to be able to manufacture a 486 CPU. That's what was found in this machine here. I repurposed it. I found it thrown out, and it was kicked, and it was beige, and the motherboard was warped, and the CPU socket was no longer connected because of the warpage, and I repurposed it into something. And I'll show you what it's about here. Because she was in shape, I had to put more screws in her to be able to hold her together proper. These old machines did not have a lot of input and output. As you see here, it's a newer ITX motherboard, a zotac, with an Atom dual-core machine or processor in it. You know, modern power supplies, they were still the same screw pattern with the modern power supply. I believe this is like a 450 power supply. But this is an extra screw here. The case did not come together proper because of it being kicked. So I had to put an extra screw in there. I had to cut with tin snips, the section out there. What you see here is a DVD case that's been pop riveted into place to make it look aesthetically pleasing. And these cases are a lot different than the modern ones, how they come off. Really a pain in the backside to be able to take off and put back on again. But I had to put the motherboard in place, mark it with a pin on the other side, put standoffs in with nuts to be able to hold it in place properly, and cable management. Because of the type of case it is doesn't have to be as pretty as you see these modern ones with the acrylic face on them, but it does pretty well. Of course, it's a very cheap video card. To be able to get a little more speed out of that dual core processor, and DMI1 and display port connections is what we have here. But it turned out pretty nice. Everything fit. Of course, a DVD, triple fan, card reader, and 4 USBs. Took some finagling to be able to get that button to work correctly, as well as the reset button. And this thing was so brown and beige that took a can of paint. Now a can of paint at Walmart costs maybe $1 in the United States. Now, because of taxes and duties, you got to pay for things 3 times down here, so it's like $4 for a simple can of white paint. And one can did the job. Of course, I had to buy some black paint, so that's $8 in paint. The motherboard was $20 on eBay, but by the time it gets down here, shipping, and duties, and taxes, and it ended up to be a $60 motherboard. Same thing with the video card. That's a $10 video card. It ends up to be $30 by the time it gets here. Power supply, a $20 power supply, ended up to be $60. And then of course the DVD was $10, $30 by the time it gets here. Fans, $15, the triple fan that's in the front. $45 by the time it gets here. Same thing with these things, $10 a piece. Cost $30. We're talking over $200 to be able to just refit this. It's kind of upsetting, and it takes quite a bit of time to be able to get the parts. And living on a budget, you just buy one part at a time, and it took over 6 months to be able to put this thing together. All the parts and put it together. I wanted to make it a Hackintosh, but everybody that tries Hackintosh would probably be laughing right now that it doesn't work with the Atom. Of course, you find these things out later. I thought it would have been fitting, kind of nice. But I ended up putting Linux Mint 19, and it's got Mac Ubuntu skin. So it looks like a Mac. Let me turn it on. Oh, that's a little bit of practice there to be able to get that in, get it on properly. I'm sure some of you guys would be able to understand that. Us older guys. Oh, hey, Greg Salazar. I've passed the CompTIA long time ago. There's lots of channels I like to watch. Greg Salazar is one of them. Tech Yes out of Australia. Lots of them. Linus. I know a lot of guys don't like Linus. LGR. MJD. This guy had to be put in there because of it being kicked, and there was a gap here, so that relieved that problem. As Greg would say, a few moments later. I like Oz. I haven't seen Oz in a long time. I don't know what the heck his deal is. He's not been showing up. An adapter for our VGA connection. What we see next to us is a monitor that I had shown before, repurposed out of an HP Pavilion ZE 4500, early 2000s model. Just something that was fun. Repurposed. You know, you got stacks of old stuff sitting around. I'm wondering what the heck to do with this stuff. Just because everything's so expensive, you don't go out and buy monitor that's and pay triple for it down here, you know. Oh yeah. Something that I did that's special, not the hum. Power down here isn't that great either. The 95 machine used to have a contoured face here, just kind of clipped on and clipped off. I took a mirror that is used in lockers for kids and repurposed it. Got some acrylic, paid 3 times for it, put some LEDs in there, and that's my, what I call my infinity drive. Got blue LED inside. You can tell that it's warped just a little bit. Anyway, I figured out how to be able to change the sound. It's a different startup sound. And it's got the Mac Ubuntu. Noob's Mac Ubuntu skin. Noob's Lab is not accessible. Not this Mac Ubuntu version is not available any longer. I forget the error message you get when you try and. But I think it looks pretty cool. Startup sound, nice. Perhaps I'll do a video on how to be able to change the startup sound sometime later. But this is just something fun. Once again, this is VIP Nobody from the sunny climes of Jamaica. Signing off. Talk to you later.